Yes, guys, hope everyone is good. Régis Le Bris is the latest Leeds manager being linked out of a shortlist, apparently. But as he's part of that shortlist, and most of us, including me, didn't know who he was, I'm going to do a little video to show you what he does, his style of play, his tactics, who he is, what he's done in the game. Let's get into it. And just to clarify as well, this is purely spectacle. I'm not saying he's going to be the manager, just an interesting tactical breakdown on who he is. So here he is. Here's the man himself. 4-2-3-1. That's formation. That does change. He does adapt that. FC Lorient manager, 47-year-old. Came through the youth ranks there in terms of coaching. Was a manager of the under-19s and did a bit of direct stuff. It was there for a while. It's his first time doing a competitive first team coach job this season. Getting the game with 14 games, 10 draws, 13 losses, 52 points. FC Lorient, by the way, a team with an extremely low budget in terms of transfers and wages, the lowest in the league, I believe. And they finished 16th last year and just avoided relegation. So it's a sizable improvement in that sense. Obviously, a coach with he's proven that his tactic can work. They were second at one point behind PSG, and the report I'm going to show is when that was done. They finished 10th, so they did drop off slightly, but still 10th as a side. The lowest budget in the league is incredibly impressive. Don't get me wrong. And the style of play is very, 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 very unique. Let's get into it. So the interesting part of their style is this, right? And I'll explain all this. So potentially the most interesting thing about Lorient's general statistical vitals is that they move the ball into dangerous areas very rarely. No side attempts fewer passes into the final third than Lorient, 44% per game. 44 per game. Their count is almost 10% lower than the next lowest side, Nice. In addition, no club completes a lower share of their passes in the attacking third. So you're looking at that thinking, so they don't attack or create chances. Incorrect. At this point, they had the second most goals in the league, and they scored quite a few goals in the season. Because what they do in these attacking areas is they'll hold the ball at the back, pass it around the back, if they have to. The second that ball goes into Lefebvre in midfield, the central midfielder, great player. The onus then is on the movement of the front three. So they'll happily keep the ball in the final third, in the first third, defensive third. What they do after that is done like that. They will hold the ball, they will slow everything down. If the opposition presses, they will create overloads in areas, triangles, which I'll show now, like this. So these are them in the orange. So if they have the ball in this position with the goalkeeper, who is an option, by the way, always an option, they will create triangles. The ball goes to him. These three will create a triangle. He will come in and create a triangle. Yeah, there's triangles everywhere. You see the triangles? And what they do is outnumber the opposition in areas. So they always pass out from the back to start their attacks if the goalkeeper has it. And what they do is they attempt to maintain the ball until the guy in the middle, Lefebvre, is a free option, and he will drop to receive the ball. Now, when he gets the ball, when the middle guy gets the ball, the onus then is on quick attacking play. So hold it from the back slowly, but then they transition like that, fast and effective. And the biggest part of this is the off-ball movement of the front players. That is the reason for their success. The creativity of the guy in the middle, Lefebvre, the movement of the front three. That is how they create chances quickly and effectively. So the idea, they get the ball back here, they outnumber the press. Yeah, and they get the ball into midfield areas, and the front three will make tactical movements to allow them to have big chances. They don't create a lot of chances. They don't have a lot of possession. But what they do on the ball is try to be as effective as possible. It's a very interesting. Here it is here, possessions. So as you can see, Lorient in the final third, in the defensive third, they have the ball 32% of the time, which is more than any other side. Right? More than any other side. 49 in the middle. In the final third, it's 19%. Zoom in for you. 19%. Where's it gone? There. So defensive third, they have it more than anyone else. Final third, 19%. They hold the ball here, transition through here quickly, and then the final third is about speed and movement. And I keep talking about off the ball movement because that is vital in this side, in this style of play. As I said here, Lorient love to move the ball around close to their goal. As we mentioned earlier, Lorient don't play over a lot of passes in the final third. Where then do all their passes go? On the other end of the pitch, 32% of their passes end in their own third, the highest proportion in the league. So as expressed, it's all about keeping the ball in the defence. If they can beat a press, they will create the numbers to beat the press, then they will move quickly through midfield and then out wide or in wide areas, wide movements to create space in the final third effectively and quickly. And this is where I talk about that speed. The final third is where their attacking pace and their efficiency is turning possession into opportunities to become clear. Lorient move forward quickly in the opposition's half, swiftly breaking lines and slicing through channels. Which is all about, as he said here, off the ball movement, key to their success in the final third. Which is not something you usually associate in our country. Our country is all about maintaining possession, right? But actually, this side, it's about off the ball movement. I know people are instantly going to think, no, low possession, quick attack, Jesse Marsh, completely different. They're happy to hold the ball defensively or in midfield and go forward and back in midfield and defence and then wait for that trigger. And it's not just forward together, it's intelligent movements to create a chance. It's completely different. They play with a lot of width. And if you can go on this website, this is from Opt, by the way, theanalyst.com, look at these clips and some of the impressive play they do. Again, you can see the areas in which they attack very heavily on the wingers. Let's talk about the personnel then. The type of players they need in their sort of play. One they talk about here is the striker, Terem Moffi. He scored 17 goals this season for them and got about 6 assists. As you can see here, this is where he scores from. So they clearly get up the pitch and allow their striker to score and be creative in central areas here, right? Striker is young, quick, powerful, good attacking movement. They're what you need from the striker. Not about hold up, it's about movements, quick movements. Whether it's a false run, whether it's a run out wide to create space, so many different movements. The striker ends up in the middle, right? So having a striker of that caliber or that structure is important. I'm thinking of Jorginho Ruta. If you watch Mufi play, there is similarities in that sense of his structure and how he plays. Ruta is probably a better dribbler, probably more direct, probably not as good in front of goal as Mufi, but it's a similar type of situation. Or you could buy a player with that. Now, what's most interesting is the role of the wingers. Now, Django Utara here, did he leave? Did he go to Southampton or Bournemouth? Yeah, I thought he did. This guy went to Bournemouth, yeah. Yeah, very direct, quick player, yeah. But he was their main man in terms of winger. He was the guy that was creating all the attacking chances, if you'd like. He was the guy that was stretching defences, and they lost him. So maybe that's a big indication of what happened to their form. They lost their most clinical and most important winger, who, as you can see, they played down that side a lot too. So that makes sense as to why they dropped down the table. Right, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, the use of a quick winger with good movement and that who's direct is vital in this team. What do we have currently? We have that in 2 players, Somerville and Gnonto. Could you keep them? That's the talk. If not, can you bring someone in with that similar kind of style of play, right? Another big thing about them, and this is huge, is this guy, Enzo Lefebvre. The guy in the middle who creates everything for them. Now, a good thing about a player like this is in this system, it kind of depends on, again, the movement of the players. So it's not reliant on him necessarily. If he's a player like Enzo Lefebvre, who is good everywhere at everything, decent at everything, the team will really, really succeed and go forward. As you can see here, chances created. Again, a lot of it is from this box, this central area. That's where he occupies. He gets the ball from the defenders and is straight forward quickly. And you can see create chances from back here, which would suggest transitional, quick, forward attacking. Enzo Lefebvre can do everything. He picks the ball up, he'll turn with the ball, he'll find a pass out wide, or someone will create a movement, or he will drive with it. Who does that remind you of? Who in our team, which young player? Darko JB. This is a role I see Darko JB excelling in. And this is why I like this link, because in terms of personnel, I think there's a way there in which Leeds could develop well. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's the right option. It's literally just a rumour. I'm just trying to relate it to Leeds, and it is a massive risk, 100%. But a guy like that who can do a bit of everything and create chances, it's huge. Yeah, to quickly summarise all that. Style of play. Keep the ball at the back and in deeper midfield areas. Keep it happily, create triangles, beat the press defensively to then excel and express yourself in midfield. Move forward in midfield with Lefebvre or a technical player in there who can drive or pick out a cutting pass for the movement of the front three, who are drilled in week in, week out on how to move effectively and the best movements for the team to then create chances. That's it in premise. Right? Maintain the ball at the back, play through the central midfielder, use that guy, create space for him from beating the press, use that guy in midfield to create chances for strikers up top who have or should have brilliant movement, score goals, create big chances in the final third. Don't hold on to it in the final third. Again, I know it's nothing like Jesse Marsch. Jesse Marsch's football was all about getting the ball in their area to win the ball back high up. This team is not about that. It's about maintaining the ball, but then when we get into the final third, going quick and effectively with different types of movements, not passes, different movements, 1 or 2 passes with good movement. That's vital, the movement. That's it. Look, this is just a link. I'm not saying it's right. It's probably too much of a risk. Yeah, no idea about him. This is all I've got. No idea about anything else. This is probably a risk. I just want to make this video because why not? At least you guys understand who he is now. Let me know what you guys think about the video. I appreciate support. Yeah, peace.